Hello friends, this is Jennifer Terri and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will talk about the press release of the Bureau of Immigration. So it's basically just confirming the information that we have shared yesterday with regards to the lifting of restriction. So today, this afternoon, the Bureau of Immigration released their press release announcing that they will be lifting the travel restrictions on the 36 countries with reported cases of the new COVID variant starting February 1. From today until tomorrow, the ban still exists, okay? Again, the lifting of restrictions starts February 1. So who will be allowed? So again, those who were allowed before the ban on the 36 countries will be allowed again. So immediate families of Filipinos, including foreign parents of minor Filipinos, of Filipinos with special needs regardless of age, permanent residents under Section 13, RA 7919, EO 324, as well as those with native-born visas. Also allowed are those married to Filipinos with temporary resident visas, permanent resident visas relative to Section 13, investors visas, investors visa under EO 226, and additionally, holders of 9G visas who left the country starting December 17. And those who left before December 17 are still not allowed. So, except for those qualified under the Balikbayan privilege, all foreign nationals need to have a valid and existing visa in order to enter the Philippines. Okay, so in this video, I will also answer questions from our last video, so stay tuned. Again, the Bureau of Immigration also reminded us the conditions for entry of the foreign nationals. Number 1 is visa, except for Balikbayans. All foreign nationals need a visa to enter the Philippines. A pre-booked quarantine hotel for 7 nights. If you want to see the list of accredited government quarantine hotels, I'll put the link in the description box. And lastly is that you are subject to a COVID test at your quarantine hotel at the 6th day from your date of arrival. So let's get straight to the question. So really the purpose of this video, I just showed you that the Bureau of Immigration has clarified and confirmed the lifting of restriction. So with this video, I will also answer some questions, especially most asked questions. Let's get straight into it. First question is coming from Casa de Hermosa. Hi Jen, so it means foreign parent or partner of Filipinos under 9A visa will be allowed for entry? Yes, that's right. 9A visa holders, immediate families of Filipinos not traveling together with their Filipino family, you will be allowed if you have the 9A visa. Again, bring in the supporting documents, the marriage certificate if you're married, or the birth certificate of your child if you have a Filipino minor child. Next up, we have from Meditation Vibes. How about if you have 2 vaccine shots already? Now, this one is a very popular question. Of course, people will be asking, what if you're already vaccinated? Would you still have to undergo the testing in quarantine? The answer is yes. The Philippines has not made any special exemptions or for those vaccinated, meaning vaccinated or not, you will undergo the same protocols, and that is when you arrive, you go straight to your quarantine hotel and then have your COVID test on the 6th day since your arrival. Next is from Joy Buena. How about po yung 9G visa who left the country before COVID time? So 9G visa holders who left the country before December 17 are still not allowed. Only those who left after December 17 will be allowed. Next up from Bernadette Macalino. Do we need to book a quarantine hotel before arriving in the Philippines, or can we do that when we are at the airport? So the pre-booking of quarantine hotel is only required for foreign nationals, including former Filipinos, okay? Former Filipinos, you are treated the same as foreign nationals. Only that you have a privilege of a visa-free or visa upon arrival. But all the requirements of having a pre-booked quarantine hotel for 7 nights also applies to you. So if you are a former Filipino, okay, you also need to have or to satisfy the condition of having a pre-booked quarantine hotel for 7 nights to be allowed entry into the Philippines. So this pre-booking condition is only for foreign nationals. However, I've heard of Filipino citizens, dual Filipino citizens, who were asked by their foreign airline to have that pre-booking of quarantine hotel. So that is the thing. If you are a dual citizen and you only have a foreign passport, then these airlines will treat you like a foreign national. So they would ask you that you have the pre-booking of quarantine hotel as well. It's not right though, because it's only foreign nationals who need that, not dual citizens. But sometimes it's too much, too much stress to argue with the airline. So many people just comply. But to Filipino citizens, you don't need a pre-booking of a quarantine hotel before arriving to the Philippines. If you are a Filipino citizen, you can do that at the airport. But again, just some foreign airlines will ask for it. Anyway, you can contact your airline just to confirm with them that they won't question you. However, I myself would recommend that you pre-book your quarantine hotel because it's just much easier. It's less hassle when you arrive. And also, if you're looking for a budget or affordable quarantine, you'll have that secured reservation because you don't know if that affordable quarantine would still be available when you arrive in the Philippines. That's all I'm saying. With regards to the free government facility, I'm not really sure if they would still have that when they lift the ban starting February 1. If I get the information, I will make a video telling you if the government facility would still be available after February 1. Next up, we have Test Francisco. What about if you come out positive on your 5th day with no symptom? Are they gonna let you go and quarantine at home? No, definitely not. They'll pick you up at your hotel and take you to an isolation facility. Next up is from Adelaide Costales. Bakit may nagsabi na dead test be done on the 6th day? Not dead test. COVID test be done on the 6th day from arrival, then wait for 4th result. Negative. Continue quarantine if you're in. Ano ba talaga? Pabago-bago at nakakalito. This affects date of entry. Are you shit? It is really confusing. I know the quarantine and testing rules have been changing so often. This week, I think they changed like 3 times. I know it's crazy. But anyway, the final rule starting February 1 is that your COVID testing will happen on the 6th day from your date of arrival. So let's say you arrive on February 1. Your COVID test will be on February 2, February 3, February 4, February 5, February 6. On February 6. Because your date of arrival will not be counted as your days of quarantine. Okay? So your COVID test will be done on the 5th day of your quarantine. Okay? Next up is from Jerry Gamboa. Hi, I'm your subscriber. Thank you, Jerry. Anyway, if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. Former Filipino ako but wala na yung old Philippine passport. What should I do to enter the Philippines? Get a Philippine birth certificate. Next is from Tanya. Hi, I am an OFW traveling to Cebu via Manila. Will I be quarantined in Cebu? No, you will be quarantined at your first port of entry. So if you land in Manila coming from abroad, you will quarantine and test in Manila. So don't book your domestic connecting flight same day. No. For example, if you're coming from overseas, let's say Sydney to Manila, because you'll have to quarantine and test in Manila. you'll have to stay there for at least 6 to 7 days before you can fly to Cebu, assuming that you have negative COVID test. Next question is from Nicole. Hi, do we need to download the QR code Trace app? Yes. All arriving passengers in the Philippines, if you're going through any of the Philippine airports, you'll need to download the Trace app and register. Next is from Marcelo. Hello everyone, I have a question. Is it possible to quarantine myself to my own empty house for the required health protocols using accredited transport from the airport by DOT? Oh, so you have a house near the airport. No, you cannot quarantine there. You have to quarantine in a government accredited hotel or facility. Francis Tan. Are former Filipino citizens allowed to enter the Philippines? Yes, if you're coming from a country that is covered by the Balikbayan program, you can avail of the visa upon arrival and you can enter the Philippines starting February 1. Next question is from Maya Padin. I have a question. Do I need to book a separate rooms for me and my hubby, or a couple allowed to stay in one room? So I know really that couples can stay in one room. However, I've heard stories of people who are married couples and were not allowed to stay or quarantine in one room. So I would say that this does depend on the rules of your hotel. They will decide whether they will allow you to quarantine together. Next is from Tyrone. I'm a British guy and haven't seen my Filipino wife for a year. What visa do I need? If you're married to a Filipino and you are separated now, I'm saying like if your wife, the Filipino spouse is in the Philippines and you are overseas, you'll need to apply a visa to enter the Philippines, and that is the 9A visa. Contact the Philippine Embassy or Consulate General in your area. Next is from Ann A. I was born in the Philippines, but I became a U.S. citizen when I was 17 and automatically U.S. citizen when I came here. I have my old expired Filipino passport and copy of my birth certificate. Am I allowed to go home? Ann A, you are a former Filipino and you said you have an old Filipino passport. Even if it expired, you can use that as a proof that you are a former Filipino. You're coming from the US, you are allowed entry starting February 1. Don't forget to pre-book your quarantine hotel for 7 nights. So that is all the questions, guys. If you want me to do another video like this, comment down below your questions and let me know. Now, can you do a part 2 question and answer portion? Sure. Yes, so that is all for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to show support, and I will see you again with another video. Bye!